And there you have it. Our 2024 season, in true Atlanta Falcons fashion, comes to an end with a loss to a 4-win Carolina Panthers team, a team we beat by double digits earlier in the season. Needless to say, this season ended up being incredibly disappointing. Finishing 8-9 after 3 consecutive seasons of finishing 7-10 means very little to me. We were promised a much better, more intense football team, and for most of our season, this was the same team I've seen every other year. But I don't want to just harp on all of the bad. There were a lot of exciting things that happened this season, and I think we should take a look at everything. Go ahead and drop a comment on what your favorite or least favorite moment of the season was. Our Week 2 win at Lincoln Financial Field against the Philadelphia Eagles was still such an incredible moment from our season. Kirk Cousins played lights out, our defense showed up when they needed to, and Drake London's game-winning touchdown followed by airing out the whole stadium is a top 5 moment for me in recent Falcons history. Then there's the overtime win against the Bucs in Week 5. I was fortunate enough to attend that game, and the energy that night was electric. Kirk Cousins broke Matt Ryan's single-game passing record, and Falcons legend Kadero Hodge had the walk-off touchdown in overtime. Beautiful, no notes. We followed that up with a rather dominant win against the Panthers, another game I was able to attend, and I felt like that was the first time I truly thought we were an above-average football team. Finally, our win over the Cowboys I felt was a really solid team win. We were leading the division at 6-3, and it finally felt good to be a Falcons fan again. So our Week 1 home opener against the Steelers was still awful. After all that hype, we come out and score 1 touchdown and lose against Arthur Smith's offense? Terrible. The 4-game stretch from weeks 10 to 14 might be some of the worst Falcons losses in recent history. A 3-point loss to the Saints that was born out of bad clock management, missed field goals, and the beginning of the end of Kirk Cousins. A 32-point loss to the Broncos, and I can't even begin to explain what went wrong there, but it was terrible. Then we come out of the bye week and lose to the Chargers by 4 points, and Kirk Cousins threw 4 interceptions. I think LA is a good football team, but I really believe out of every team we lost to, we definitely should have beat the Chargers. And we end that little stretch in Minnesota with a 21-point loss, and yet again, another game where Kirk Cousins wets the bed. The Vikings are a great football team and may have won that one either way, but it's hard not to think about what that game could have been without the turnovers. The Atlanta Falcons are in a very weird spot because when you've been playing incompetent football for as long as we have, it doesn't take very long to lose hope in a coaching staff. Here's the issue. It is no longer about, can we win big football games, or can we have a winning record, or yay, we're winning the NFC South. Who cares? The issue since 2017 is, can we finish the job? 7-9 in 2018? Okay, let's give Dan Quinn one more chance. Going into the bye week in the 2019 season, we were 1-7. That's okay. Let's see if Dan Quinn can finish strong. And we do, 7-9. So logically, let's see if we can get it done the next season. And we don't. We go 4-12 and fire Dan Quinn, and all 4 of those wins come from Raheem Morris as the interim head coach, by the way. Okay, so dope. Let's hire a talented offensive coordinator and see what he can do. 7-10. Year 2, baby, let's make some improvements. 7-10. Year 3, baby, and we start the season 2-0? Guess what? 7-10. So we hire another coach, this time a huge locker room guy. This man is about to take us all the way and finally utilize our talented roster. We get to 6-3, but guess what? 8-9. I've seen this story over and over and over and over and over again. We can blame 1,010 people. Is it Kirk's fault? Sort of. Is it Raheem's fault? Yes. Is it Terry's fault? Yes. Jimmy Lake, Zach Robinson? All yes. But the blame goes to Arthur Blank at this point. You want to know why you can't sell out games even though you have the cheapest stadium food in the NFL? Why nobody cares about your nearly 60-year-old franchise? How you have talent like Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Jesse Bates, Grady Jarrett, and now Michael Penix Jr., and you can't get people to show up? It isn't the stadium's fault. There's an SEC championship game played there every year and they sell out. There's going to be a national championship game this year and a Super Bowl in a few years and a World Cup qualifier. Beautiful stadium. Great job. But you'll continue to see a decline in attendance every Sunday in the fall if nothing changes. And at this point, the change has to be quick and sharp. Stop hiring nice guys and good family men and hire somebody who's going to win you football games immediately. Don't promise the fan base that you're building a championship roster right now and miss the playoffs for the 7th season in a row. We won 8 games, and that was the most wins since 2017. If that doesn't scream we're consistently a below-average football team, I don't know what does. This was probably the most disappointing season we've had in a very long time, and I'm just sick of it. I've been cursed to a life of an Atlanta Falcons fan. Rise up, and I'll see you in the next video.